Hi guys, good afternoon. It's Annkeit from Shamin Skincare. I haven't made a video in a very long time. So I'm super excited to be with Stephanie Brower today from NeoGenesis. She is the head of education for the company. And if you haven't checked me out in a while, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, Shamin Skincare is a skincare and wellness store for you to look and feel your absolute best. There are clinical and non-clinical products because I do believe in both. And I do believe both aspects of each genre have great solutions for you, the consumer. And it's my job to always kind of research and see what's out there so that I can pick the best solutions for my client. So Stephanie, I'm super excited to be with you
Yeah,
today.
I'm
Thank
so happy to be here. Thanks for
you.
having me.
Of course, your skin looks great. I wonder what you're using.
NeoGenesis.
Yeah. And, guys, I have been using NeoGenesis now since 2019. And I have to tell you, Stephanie, what I love about the product, I use it when I'm doing my professional treatments as well, such as microneedling, microchanneling. And I also recommend it to clients that are either having laser done to start preparing their skin for the laser so it could
Right.
strengthen and build the skin. And also before fibroblast plasma skin tightening. And
Yep.
now the latest treatment that I'm offering in my studio, guys, which is HIFU, high intensity focused ultrasound for skin tightening. So if you have never really used growth factor, if you have never played around with NeoGenesis, you guys are in for a real treat. Me and Stephanie are going to take you through the kind of superstar products behind the line. There are 3 serums currently that are growth factor based, and the superstar of the brand is Recovery. So before I go into the product, Stephanie, let's talk about like just really quick. I've spoken with Steve a few times, who is the president of the company and part owner, and him and Dr. McGuire started the company. And I think what was really cool and innovative is that, first of all, Dr. McGuire's been studying stem cell research, I think, since the 80s or early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been
Great.
behind research and just kind of, a real pioneer when it comes to stem cell research. And he's created this beautiful product for us to use. And really, it's so much security for me being a licensed esthetician because I really feel confident doing invasive treatments, if you
Right.
would say, and
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
not, yeah, and not really having to worry about, oh my God, are they going to heal properly? Are they going to have, a very slow, minimal healing effect? What can I do to jumpstart the process?
Right.
And if you're also a fellow esthetician who's watching, who's never really tried the product, but maybe is thinking about bringing it into your practice, don't even think twice about it. It is a fantastic product, really, for any clinic. So, to any professionals that might be watching, I really recommend that you reach out to Stephanie or Amanda. Either of them will be happy to help you. But let's talk about, how it started. I think it started as oncology solutions, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is fantastic for those, especially the recovery is fantastic for anyone going through any type of oncology or radiation. We are really seeing with the case studies that we're doing that it is really diminishing the healing time. So these poor patients are getting radiations, which are second or third degree burns. And some of their physicians are just wowed because they're hardly burning because they're using it consistently, and it's done wonders. I mean, not only is it excellent for any type of invasive treatment, microneedling, like you mentioned, it's also just great for those routine, like aging concerns that we all have.
Yeah, and I think, I'm glad that you touched on the case studies because
Mhm.
I had actually done a few last year with the company, and I'm currently doing 2 anti-aging studies this year as well, which I'll showcase the results later towards the ending of the year.
Looking forward to
And I
that.
think Yeah, me too. And I think it really just goes to show you how effective and how revitalizing all three serums really are to your skin. So, guys, this is really no fluff. I'm not really trying to, promote the product because I carry it in the store. Every single time I use a serum from NeoGenesis, literally, let's say I've taken a break and maybe I'm trying out another line because I test everything that I carry in my store on my own skin for about 3 to 6 months. So sometimes I do take a break off of NeoGenesis, but every single time, Stephanie, that I go back, literally the next day, I feel younger. I feel like I look younger. Like it's so rejuvenating. So, like I said, guys, this is something that, when you're doing microneedling, if you want the best quality growth factor penetrating into your skin during the treatment, this is one of my top choices. And of course, it's recovery. There's 3 options that I carry in my store for recovery. So, really quick, Stephanie, I'm just going to show the audience really what the sizes are. We have a 3 ml size. So anybody that's never tried recovery that just wants to experience it for maybe about a week to give it a try, fabulous option.
Yeah,
Then
we
you
just
have,
increased that to the 5 ml size. So they're getting a little bit more. And so which is great. It's just lasting a couple days longer than the 3 mls were.
yeah, I didn't have the 5 ml, guys, so that was going to be my next sentence. I would recommend the 5 ml if you would like to experience it for a little bit longer than a week. Yep. And then you also have the 34 fluid ounce, which is the 10 ml. So this is a really good option. I believe in this size, you have 44 pumps. And in here, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So in here, you have 44 pumps. 1 or 2 pumps, guys, is more than enough. You want to make sure you're either using the moisturizing mist from NeoGenesis. Make sure the skin is thoroughly saturated by doing about 3 to 4 pumps, because you want to make sure the skin is wet. It will make the absorption of the growth factor serum, which feels very much like a gel, penetrate deep into the hair follicles. And it has to be the first thing on your skin. What's really nice about every single serum that we're going to discuss today, you can actually incorporate it all around the ocular region. And I'm talking crease as well as orbital bone, all around the lip contour, which gives an anti-wrinkle effect. Of course, forehead, cheeks, neck, and of course, finish on your décolleté, because your neck and your décolleté is an extension of your face. Let's keep it European, guys. This is American. This is European.
And what's great too with recovery, I mean, if you have a cut, a scrape, if you deal with cold sores, you can use it for so many different things. I love to tell all of our customers, everyone needs this in their treatment room and on their bathroom counter. Like it does so many things.
And you know what Stephanie just said is so important, guys, because this shows you the amazing regenerative power of the recovery serum. You can, I've seen before and after pictures where people have had skin cancer removed and they literally have giant holes in their faces. And then with application of recovery serum from Neo, I would say maybe twice a day. And of course, the moisturizing mist prior. So it helps with product absorption. You could visibly see changes in as early as 2 to 3 weeks, not only with new skin growth, but scarless healing. Stephanie, I actually recommend recovery to anybody getting surgery, facial plastic surgery. So breast augmentation, rhinoplasties. It is a fantastic option that you can also do prior in the area and post-op to really accelerate the healing process. And, let's deep dive a little bit, Stephanie. Let's talk about the stem cell released molecule technology that's in the serums. So there's 2 types of cells that NeoGenesis uses, guys. They are epithelial and adipose derived stem cells.
Correct. Yeah. And the reason we really chose those because they are resonant to the skin. We all have stem cells all over our bodies, but we're repairing and rejuvenating the skin. So that's why we chose those adipose-derived stem cells. They're great. Like with recovery, that has 70% of our stem cell release molecules. And it's not the stem cells that are in the product, it's those healing molecules that the stem cells release that are in those products. And that's what's, feeding back those damaged cells the nutrients that it needs and that it was producing when it was young and healthy.
Yeah, and I think that's super important to point out. I think, with the price variations between the serums, recovery, the reason why it's the superstar and the reason why I use it, because I want the best of the best, it has 70% concentration of these healing growth factors and cytokines. So if you want really the best out there, this is a fantastic option. Also, there's so many clinical testings that have been done with eczema that you guys have really, showed some really strong case study pictures before and afters. Radiation, burns that people have healed from post-radiation, which are just super, super impressive. And I think that's also why it gives you such a youthful appearance, because let's say you're not suffering, God forbid, from any of these, concerns, and you're just purely looking for rejuvenation in your skin.
Yeah.
What's really nice about Neo, guys, is that it plays so well with any other skincare product that you're using. You just have to make sure that if you're ever incorporating growth factors into your regime, it is the first step that you do before anything else on clean skin.
Yeah.
And I think with recovery, it's very safe to say that, because when you're getting laser treatments, they use such high level of heat, especially like Fraxel and other lasers, that you need a good amount of downtime to recover from. This is something that's also going to help to really fight inflammation. So we know that inflammation is also the root cause of uneven skin tone. And as you know, inflammation in the gut, we all know what it does down the road when it comes to, the modern American diet. So inflammation in the skin also is, very tricky, because when you have like a pinkish, reddish undertone, which I do know a lot of people with erythema, they struggle with that. This also does a beautiful job with just reducing the blotchiness in your skin overall. And what's innovative is that it really doesn't have a lot of ingredients that are specifically tackling pigmentation, except this beautiful new product that you guys are testing, which I've had the pleasure of working with, that hasn't been released yet. And I think that serum, once it releases, is going to be a beautiful product, to add to the assortment. But what I have noticed is the overall tonality of your skin will improve significantly, because it's, quenching that inflammation on a cellular level.
Yeah.
So really quick, Stephanie, what do you suggest? I would say, personally in my clinic, I recommend recovery as the first option to anybody over the age of 40. Or if they're 40 and above, right away. If they're telling me they want an amazing anti-aging serum that's really going to make them look youthful, I will automatically show them recovery, because I feel really confident that they're going to start to see results very quickly. I've experienced results in as early as 4 weeks, but generally, what would you say the time frame is?
Yeah, I mean, and like you just said, everybody's skin is different. So I always like to give that window of 4 to 6 weeks. It's getting time for that cellular turnover, those new cells to develop. So, under promise, over deliver. I mean, we've had some people within days of using it have really seen significant changes. And then we do have people on the other end of the spectrum. Maybe they have more chronic skin conditions going on, where it is taking, 6 to 7 weeks to get there and see those results. But yeah.
And I think the key word that you just mentioned is chronic. So if you do suffer from a condition that's chronic, of course, keep in mind, it's going to take you much longer to experience the results, but we're both pretty confident that you will experience the results.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
We also offer, because we believe so strongly in our products, and the science behind them, that we actually offer a 100% money back guarantee on all of our skincare products. So if you use a tube of recovery and you're like, nope, didn't work, send it back. We'll refund you.
Yeah, and that's really like a huge thing for a company to do, because you don't really hear that when it comes to skincare. So, generally, why do you return something? Maybe you've had a bad reaction in some kind of way. Maybe you found the product ineffective. Maybe you didn't like the feel of the product. So those are the top three primary reasons for a return. But a company that's willing to let you test the product till completion, and if you're still not happy, return it for a full refund, speaks a lot to how ethical the company really is. And the next serum I'd like to discuss, and if you'd like to showcase it for us, Stephanie, it's going to be the booster. So booster is also a beautiful option. So this one is a little bit unique. It uses sodium hyaluronic butyrate, which is going to be really the best of both if you are looking for that moisturization aspect in a growth factor serum, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love too how it layers beautifully on top of recovery as well.
Yeah. So if you guys want, can you combine two different serums to really get a beautiful hydrating feel? Yes, because booster is very unique. It's the most hydrating out of all three serums. And in booster, you have 40% of the stem cell released molecules. And it also is my go-to serum, Stephanie, if I have someone that's struggling with rosacea, if I have someone struggling with erythema, if I have someone that generally gets very flushed and pink naturally.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's great for that.
Yeah, and this is something that, you can incorporate twice a day. And if you really want to, make your product last a little bit longer, can you just use it at night? Yes, I'll be totally transparent. I actually just use recovery at night. I don't like to use it twice a day. I want to make it last as much as I can. So, and your skin is regenerating, it's repairing itself. And the 5 vital functions in our skin, which is regeneration, oxygenation, nutrition, protection, and hydration, are all in synergistic healing from the day and from all the elements that we occur during the day. So it's a beautiful time to incorporate the recovery serum or the booster. Yeah. And then the final serum today is skin serum. So skin serum is, don't feel like, because this serum actually offers 20% of the stem cell release molecules, but don't for a second think that even though it's a measly 20%, or I even have clients in my clinic, Stephanie, they're like, I don't want that. It's only 20%. I'm like, do not fall asleep on this serum, because even though it's 20%, it's very, very powerful. It retails for $139. Booster is $260 and recovery is $320. And of course, guys, with the price points, there's all different variations depending on the size that you decide to incorporate in your regime. You could check out the prices at my store. But with the skin serum, it is a fantastic option for anybody in their early 20s. It is a fantastic option for anybody in their 30s that are starting to exhibit the signs of change in their skin. And they're really kind of looking for someone to help make the production of collagen, elastin have this healing effect, promote reduction in fine lines and wrinkles. I think it's a great preventative serum.
100%. Skin serum on top of recovery. That's my go-to. I use that nightly. I do recovery first. So I am getting that 70%, but then the skin serum on top gives me added hydration. And I have found too, someone that's battling extremely dry skin, incorporating skin serum in there is perfect.
Yeah, I think for chronically dry skin, can you cocktail recovery with booster? Yes. Can you cocktail it with skin serum? Absolutely. You can use both of them together. You will be getting the best of the best really on your skin. And then on top of it, in between, you can use the moisturizing mist to make sure that the product is absorbing. The moisturizing mist, how much concentration of molecules are in the mist?
So that has 1%, which is really just considered a maintenance amount, but you're absolutely right. Getting that all over the face prior to applying the serums really helps the product dive deeper, and you're able to move it around more on the face.
Yeah, it's really just for the pure fact that the slip of the product really goes into every single crevice on the face and
Yeah.
around the eyes and the neck. That's really why I do it. The moisturizing mist just has a really nice brightening, hydrating, calming effect as well. So if you are looking for a mist with vitamin C, it also adds to more radiance and luminosity in your skin, which is a nice touch. And I would say one last serum that we can also discuss briefly is the eye serum. So as you can see, my top is open. I was just using some. And the eye serum is a fantastic option if you struggle with puffiness, dark circles, fine lines. It also has a firming aspect to it that I've noticed in about 4 to 6 weeks of continual usage. What have you experienced with the eye serum, Stephanie?
The same. I have puffy eyes. And so like one morning I woke up and they were puffy. I'm like, I'm going to put this to the test. So I just applied it to one eye, made my coffee, came back, and instantly I was like, wow, it has really toned down that puffiness. And I love that it's so hydrating. And like with the other serums you mentioned, you can apply around the lips. I do that when I have a little left over of the eye serum. I apply that around my lip area too for that added hydration.
And you know, guys, for anybody that's also watching that doesn't like to necessarily feel a lot of product, you guys are gonna love NeoGenesis because the growth factors are penetrating through the hair follicle. So it's not necessarily that it's gonna feel heavy in any which way. And if you're normal to oily and you're worried about incorporating serums because you feel like it's going to make you greasy, this is definitely not going to make you greasy. You can follow up with the light moisturizer on top for any of the younger audience members that might be watching. So if you're in your early 20s, when I was in my early teenage years and my early 20s, I was pizza face oily, Stephanie. It was just every hour on the hour. You know those oil blotting papers? I would carry that in my back pocket because I needed to de-slick my T-zone. I mean, not even my T-zone. It was all over my face, but an added benefit is it keeps you looking young. The oil keeps you young.
Absolutely, it does. It's a blessing and a curse, right?
It is. You know, unfortunately, you have to struggle with acne and enlarged pores and continual breakouts. But I think ultimately, as your sebum starts to balance out as we age, it starts to self-normalize and you won't have as much breakouts. But I was very lucky in that regard to have an oily skin type. But this product is very lightweight. It's super fast absorbing. It should be your go-to product, guys, if you are doing anything invasive like surgery, if you're getting any kind of invasive treatments done with your medical esthetician, if you guys are also just struggling with very blotchy, red, inflamed skin. Like I said, this is going to give you such a healing effect. And do you want to maybe just touch, Stephanie, really quick before we close today's video on exactly, you know, really quickly, what are the stem cell release molecules doing? How are they actually helping to benefit and quench that cellular inflammation?
So when the skin cells become like aged, damaged, depleted, they actually send out a signal that goes to the skin resident cells asking for help. And that's what causes them to release the healing molecules. And the healing molecules, they get enveloped by an exosome. And that exosome has intelligence in it that picks up on that signal those damaged cells were sending out, and then feeding over those nutrients that that damaged cell needs that it used to be producing. So it's just bringing back the skin back to homeostasis, really.
And that's really what it's about. And I love the fact that she just used the word homeostasis. I've used that in the past when I've done my case studies with Neo. That's really their fundamental belief as the foundation of their products. It's to bring balance back into the skin. And that's what you're going to notice in a very short time. I'm pretty confident that, you know, Stephanie, even though if they've never tried Neo, you can actually see a difference in as early as 7 days with the product.
Agreed. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want to purchase the product, you can always visit my store, shaminskincare.com. This is going to be the first of many, many videos that I will be creating probably once a week. I'm going to have Stephanie back very shortly. And our next video is going to be on the mandelic acid 8% and the salicylic gel. So for anybody that struggles with acneic skin, anybody that's struggling with pores, with hyperpigmentation, or somebody that just wants to, you know, help target the occasional breakout, this is a fantastic, fantastic 2 products that you could start incorporating in your regime, and the turnaround will also be very quick. So Stephanie, I thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun. I'm looking forward to doing this again soon.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.